In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern. We do have a couple of low pressure systems that are going to be moving across the nation, bringing some flooding and severe weather concerns, as well as some isolated snowfall concerns for mountainous areas out west. So let's just dive into things and take a look at tomorrow afternoon. I guess is where we'll start out, Monday on the 13th here. And what we see is a 1,000 millibar low pressure center in between Kansas and Missouri. A lot of your bigger severe weather concerns are going to be underneath of all of this for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, perhaps eastward towards Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, maybe even Tennessee as well. As we've been talking about for a few days now, this Dixie Alley area is going to be the main area to watch here over the next week or so, maybe even longer. That's kind of unknown at this point. So we're going to have to track that very, very closely. Let's take this towards Tuesday on the 14th, and what we see is that this really takes aim now at the southeast, this pocket of most concern, still including Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, but now South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia as well. And really, if we look at the whole big picture of all of it, it's a lot of the eastern states involved in a lot of the precipitation. I think areas closer to the low here and areas in the northeast will be most likely showers, if not persistent rainfall. But I think our best chance for thunderstorms is going to be in the southeast corridor. Also over the Rockies and some of the northern plains, we do see some showers, both in the form of rainfall and snowfall, depending on exactly where you're at. So a pretty interesting situation there. By the time we reach Wednesday on the 15th here of May, what we see is, again, this pocket of showery activity. Some snowfall for Wyoming, Utah, Colorado there, and then mostly rainfall for the surrounding Rocky Mountain areas. We do see perhaps some thunderstorms flaring up here for the northern plains and central plains, Oklahoma, up through Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, the Dakotas, and Minnesota. And then we see this coastal low now, 999 offshore of the mid-Atlantic, bringing some precipitation along the mid-Atlantic and northeast areas of the East Coast. Perhaps some thunderstorm opportunities on the southern end, although that's something that we're going to have to watch moving forward. I am fairly confident that this Florida area here is tailing off of a bit of a cold front look, and this could feature some pretty strong thunderstorms around the Gulf of Mexico, southeast coast, and then over, of course, Florida there. Let's take a look here at Thursday on May 16th, and we do see some thunderstorms once again flaring up for Texas, Oklahoma, perhaps Arkansas, and then down through Louisiana. And these are likely to take aim again at this Dixie Alley area once more. We do see a 998 up here over the Rocky Mountains and Northern Plains. This is probably going to dive down and also play a role here. So let's just take a look at things by Friday afternoon. We once again have a 1,004 millibar low pressure center over Missouri, bringing some thunderstorm and severe weather activity here to this more Dixie Alley area around the Gulf states in general. We also have a much stronger low here over North Dakota, a 998 with a strong cold front look underneath, and this is allowing cold air to pour in behind all of this, and we're seeing a nice surge of warmth out ahead of this frontal boundary. So likely a good severe weather opportunity here across the northern plains and Midwest, I would say, for Friday on the 17th, although that is in the extended range and certainly a lot can change. But as of now, that is my current thoughts. And by the time we reach Saturday on May 18th, we do have this 988 now over the state of Michigan. That is a very strong low for the springtime, and it does have a cold front look here across a lot of the mid-Atlantic and throughout the southeast. So be on the lookout for potential severe weather around these areas for Saturday on the 18th, as a lot of cold air is going to be interacting with warm, humid air off or nearby the eastern seaboard. This could create an interesting severe weather event east of the Appalachian Mountains. Let's take a look at Sunday here on the 19th. Of course, that coastal storm is mostly moved offshore now. We do see some persistent rainfall happening for, again, the Mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley, as well as the Northeast. We do have some showers and snowfall showers happening here across some of the central Rockies into the northern plains. However, it's a little bit quiet at this point. We have to wait until Monday, where we really quickly pick things up, as we have a 980, or better yet, 999 up here in Canada, 1,003 down below it. But we do have a little bit of a boundary between the cold and the warmth, and I think that we could have a decent chance at thunderstorms along these Gulf Coast areas and also the upper Midwest and Great Lakes up here. Perhaps this will even be a bit more organized by the time it's really happening. Although this is the pretty long range, so things can change a whole lot between now and then. By Tuesday on the 21st, we see that this activity wants to reach towards the eastern seaboard. But when compared to its previous predecessors, I would say that this is a much weaker and less organized system overall on Tuesday the 21st. And again, with the amount of time in between now and then, that does have plenty of wiggle room to change. On Wednesday the 22nd, we do see some thunderstorms firing up for the plains once more, but overall quieter here. Total precipitation still showing areas to the east of the plains here, seeing the most activity, far above average in fact. And most of this, the very, very most, is going to be in this Dixie Alley area, matter of fact. So we're going to be watching this really closely. As of now, we know there will be a lot of rainfall, a lot of activity overall. But how bad those severe weather events are is still up in the air, of course. Now, for total snowfall, we see that the Rockies are still experiencing perhaps up to a foot, but we have seen this really fall off over the past 24 to 48 hours, and this could be the beginning of the end, although I feel like I've been saying that a lot here. Let's track the temperature pattern, and as we can see, overall some warmth is going to be allowed in, especially later this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday here getting even more warm, especially if you're in the central regions of the United States here. As you can see, we do have a big cool down up here for the Northwest though, on Saturday the 18th, so keep that in mind that we have far below normal temperatures. And that does begin to spread eastward Sunday, Monday time frame. But it kind of weakens out and recycles back towards the northwest here. And we're actually allowed to see some warmth prevail here in the eastern states overall by early that next week, so Monday the 20th time frame. Here's Tuesday the 21st, Wednesday the 22nd, and now we finally have a cold air mass moving towards the eastern seaboard, Friday the 24th. And then later on that weekend, we do see a lot of this colder air is set up over the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes, as well as the Northeast here. But we do have a southeast ridge really wanting to encourage this warmth to stick around here. I think overall this plays into this Dixie Alley type scenario as well. We have this cold air pushing in these areas overall. And then we have warm Gulf humid air pushing this way. I think this overall setup, if we see lows traveling along an imaginary line here in between these two air masses, so it's hard to say if that's exactly what will occur, but if we have the lows traveling along that kind of boundary, we could see a lot of setups near the Gulf Coast here for severe weather. Although at 360 hours, that's pretty speculative. Just wanted to point that out. Now, the Storm Prediction Center for day one here is kind of all over the place. We have a general thunderstorm risk in between California, Oregon, and Nevada. One for California and Nevada again. One for the Delmarva and surrounding areas. And then a big one over the central states. And this general thunderstorm risk area is just where we expect general thunderstorms. No big surprise there. But severe weather is possible. It's just not expected, so keep that in mind. We do have two darker green areas, one up there for the Great Lakes and one down here for the south central states. That is your level 1 marginal risk, where we do expect isolated severe weather to be possible, so keep that in mind. Now, as we take a look here, we do have 3 yellow areas, one for Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. One there for central Texas, and then one up there for Wisconsin and Michigan. That is your level 2 slight risk, where we do expect scattered about severe weather to be possible. For day 2, we have 2 general thunderstorm risk areas here, one very large one, and then one very small one. We do have a marginal risk once again for these deeper south areas. Again, that Dixie Alley getting very active in here. And then a slight risk up here for Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. And then day 3, we do not have a slight risk yet, but we do have 3 general thunderstorm risk areas. One for, again, the Sierra Nevada area there of California and Nevada. One up here for the Northern Plains and some of the Rocky Mountain area. And then one for the greater Southeast area, as well as the marginal risk here for the Southeast. Could expand into a slight risk over here because this is the day 3 outlook, but only time will be able to tell. And by the way, the dates for this is the day 1 here is just for the rest of today on Sunday, May 12th. This one is for Monday on May 13th. And then this one is for Tuesday on May 14th. And let me go through it, but I don't think we have any extended day outlooks. We do not. So that is all for today's video, guys. Be sure to subscribe, as we do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.